Namaskar. We are welcoming you, Nritya Jagannathan Didi. Welcome, Didi.
Namaste.
Namaste. It's so proud to have on our podcast. Didi is the director of Krishnamacharya Yog Mandiram, Chennai, the oldest and the reputed yoga school in Chennai. बहुत अच्छा इंस्टीट्यूट है ये, और दीदी वहां से 25 ईयर्स से योगा के फील्ड में है, और अभी वहाँ डायरेक्टर के पद पर है, एजुकेशन इंस्टीट्यूट और ट्रेनिंग और सब संभालते हैं। और साथ ही साथ एक भरतनाट्यम स्टेज डांसर भी रहे हैं दीदी, बिकॉज मोर देन 40 ईयर्स। और उन्होंने अभी एक बुक भी लिखी है बहुत ही सुंदर। तो इसके बारे में, सभी चीजों के बारे में हम उनसे जानेंगे। बहुत बहुत वेलकम है दीदी आपका। हाँ।
Thank you.
सो हाउ यू स्टार्ट योर जर्नी दीदी ऑन योगा एज ए भरतनाट्यम एक्सपर्ट, भरतनाट्यम डांसर? हाउ यू स्टार्ट योर योगा जर्नी?
See, from the time I was a child, I had a lot of interest in dance.
ओके।
And I started dancing when I was 6. My teacher is Srimati Krishna Kumari Narendran. And she was the one who gave the foundation, not just for dance, but also for spirituality. She showed me the meaning of bhakti. And in her choreography, when she would choreograph, she would teach me a lot of stories from our scriptures and how one has to look at the different characters and so on. That was the early days. And since then, I developed a lot of interest in not just dance, but also the theory of dance, the philosophy of art. And over a period of time, I think I was also shaped by my education. I went to the Krishnamurti Foundation School in Chennai, and subsequently I studied in Vidya Mandir. Both schools nurtured my interests in different ways, and I think my journey as a dancer, because as a classical dancer, I had a lot of, typically with all dancers, some strain in the knee, some swelling, injuries, and that is what brought me first to the Krishnamacharya Yoga Mandiram. I think it was in 1996. I must have been a
ओके।
teenager, and came purely as a therapeutic intervention. But I was very fascinated by what yoga can do. And my journey into yoga per se began after I finished my master's in communication, where I joined the KYM as an editor and a writer in the publications division.
वाओ।
And that is when I came into contact with Shri Desika Char and many of the other senior teachers in the Yoga Mandiram. And soon after, that was in 2001. And so that's when we started my studies with Sir, we call him Sir. And as I worked in the publications division, I got a chance to work on a number of books of Sir's, handling different articles about yoga. And that's what drew me to the KYM's diploma. Back then, we
ओह
had a
वाओ।
it's a very one of the very well structured teacher training courses. I think one
एग्जैक्टली।
of the easiest in the country,
वाओ।
because the KVM has been running this since 1988, and so a very very comprehensive, intensive teacher training course in yoga. Then I went on to learn Vedic chanting at the KVM. Did my teacher training in Vedic chanting. Was also trained in yoga therapy. I I've been here since 2008, 2001. This is I finished 24 years. This is my 25th year, and I've grown in the organization
लवली।
both as a dancer. My journey as a dancer brought me to yoga, and I developed a lot of interest in the philosophy of yoga, in the shastras, in the Vedic traditions, and I've had a lot of very good opportunities because I came in when I was younger. I was just out of college. I was just about 21 or so, and so it's been a it's a beautiful learning journey. And I was very blessed that I was young. I didn't have any other commitments. I could spend as much time as I wanted studying
एग्जैक्टली,
with
यस।
Sri Veskachar. So, and that has, I think, led the way to where I am. I was for many years heading the Department of Publications before I took over as director of the KVM Institute of Yoga Studies about 6 years ago.
Wow, that's so good. It's a beautiful journey and beautiful narrating story. So, what challenges during that journey? Do you feel any challenges, like sometimes the Sanskrit pronunciation, sometimes like some adjusting with yoga postures, and sometime as a yoga professional, or you are just as a with publishing department also. So what do you feel about these challenges and these actually opportunities?
Actually, I wouldn't say anything was a challenge. It was all great learning. I've already had a background in Sanskritam, both in school and college, so that made it very easy. What I did have to learn was how to transliterate, how to use the Roman script to transliterate, and that was a very useful learning over the
Okay.
years because when I was working on editing books, we had to provide content both in Sanskritam and in the Roman
Okay.
transliteration. So that I learned, and I think I've always had an inkling for Sanskritam, for philosophy. So I don't think it was a challenge. I think my entire journey in yoga studies has been only enjoyable.
Wow.
There have been challenges. I've been very blessed because I was in the right place at the right time. I was young. I had a lot of time, and because of that, I had a lot of opportunities to learn because I didn't have to say no to anything, any teaching chance that sir asked me to do, or that the yoga mandiram deployed me on. Any day, any time, I was able to be available. And I don't think I can say that anything has been challenging per se. It's only
Wow.
been a very pleasant journey, and I was already prepared with my foundation in dance. So there's a lot of physical training is needed, a lot of breath work is needed, a lot of inner work is needed to be a dancer, to be a choreographer. And I think both of the, I mean, it was very natural. The
Wow.
no problem per se.
Lovely, lovely. Every yoga jams, yoga mitras like this only. No, there are no challenges. There are like smooth journey. Let the flow flows, and the all challenges gives us opportunities. So it's like
Yes.
so good to have you all. Ki yes, you are the challenges. No, these are the opportunities to work on ourselves in a better way. So that's so good. Wow, Didi. So, what do you suggest, Didi? How they can start the each and every yoga teacher, because you can understand that now the yoga is so trendy. So everyone wants to be a yoga teacher or as a yoga professional. So as a director of KYM Yog Mandiram, what do you suggest to a newcomer how they can start their systematic journey as a yoga professional or as a yoga therapist? Please suggest.
See, the way we studied yoga was very different. Back then,
Hmm.
I don't think any of us who studied, I'm saying 20 years ago, 25 years ago, it was not that we wanted to take up yoga as a profession. We were interested
G
in yoga as a practice.
G
And
G.
started off, everyone here who has come into the KYM, I would say 90% of us, the seniors who are here, came because we had a health issue. We practiced some asana, pranayama, we benefited from it. Then we wanted to know more, and we were able to meet sir and listen to his lectures. And
Hmm.
I think that was very transformative. So our journey was not one that was driven only by money or by a career. Now that
Exactly.
comes today, things are very different. I think the scenario is very different with certifications, with YCB, and all these different exams. And for many people, I think they're seeing it as a quick way. Okay, I will train myself and then I will, okay, let me set up a class. But we
Ah,
must remember that this is a lifelong journey. I'm not saying that one should not earn, and it's a gainful employment, but it's important to learn the fundamentals well. What I'm seeing is a lot of dilution because of these
hmm.
multi certifications. You do 100-hour course and you say, oh yeah, I teach yoga, and then immediately they say I'm a yoga therapist. I don't think
Exactly.
can be done. The K1 course is a 900-hour course. It runs for
Wow.
almost 2 years. And while our classroom teaching is about 450 to 500 hours, we expect another 500 hours of personal study.
Wow.
So, and that is just the teacher training. The therapist training course is yet another 900 to 1000 hours. See, and that
Exactly.
takes time. The whole idea of understanding, it's not just, okay, you take a posture now, raise your arms up, bend down, touch your toes.
Hmm. Hmm.
Okay, see, there is a physicality to it, but I think in currently people are in such a hurry that we are stuck on the physical. We don't realize that there are much deeper and very powerful components of yoga that will take time. The
Exactly.
pranayama, the bhavana, the mantra, the mudras, bandhas, nyasas, dhyanam practices, all of this requires time, consistency. Over time, only certain things start to change. So we need to be staying with something for a long enough time and not just rush. It's not that paper will say, yes, you are a certified teacher, you have 100 hours, 200 hours, 300 hours. What is the use of that paper? And I think at some level, we also need to remember that yoga is a sadhana. It is a
Hmm.
personal adhyatmika sadhana, and it's not for show. It's not for exhibition to someone else that see how many postures I can do. I can stand in Shirsasana for 3 hours. Then what? What have we achieved?
Hmm.
So our teacher would always say that the purpose of yoga is for your personal transformation. And how does what you do transform you? That is very important, I think. And therefore, for those who wish to study, I think it's also important to go to authentic centers. Learn with teachers who come from a solid parampara. That's very important.
Literally, absolutely, Didi. The foundation is more important for each and every aspect, and how you deliver it, कि how you grasp it. जैसे आपने उसको लिया है, उसी according आप जब automatically आप you can grow as a professional because you have strong foundation with your strong or a reputed institute. So lovely. It's so good कि 900 hours में you give, I think, so much thoroughly knowledge. The perfect the philosophy, the philosophical aspect, the practical aspect of yoga, each and every postures. It's so beautifully because I have sub read some articles and books from KYM. It's like so authentic and so good and so matlab, effectively useful for our actually Gen Z or this the present scenario. So wow. So please tell us about the Krishnacharya Yog Mandiram, how they start and what activities were doing in this beautiful center. I also heard about, so please actually what we I want to some take all the details for our all the students, because sometimes they are not aware about the real authentic yoga centers are there, not the lack of. So please tell us, Didi. It's so important to have with your actually mouth, क्योंकि आपके मुंह से आएगा तो वो और ज्यादा अच्छा होगा और वो और ज्यादा आप उसको बता पाएंगे लोगों को कि लिटरली इट्स सो बहुत अच्छा है. The chanting part, the philosophical part, and the yogic, the real yoga part from KYM. So please tell us, Didi, about KYM activities.
Kevain was established in 1976 by Sri Desikachar. It was his Guru Dakshina to his Acharya, Sri Krishnamacharya. He's the son of Sri Krishnamacharya.
Ji.
And Sri Desikachar studied with Krishnamacharya from the early 1960s. So almost
Hmm.
30 years he has studied. And he, I would say, among all the students of Krishnamacharya, was one who received the full spectrum of Sri Krishnamacharya's
Wow.
teachings and insights, both the practice, the philosophy, the theory, everything, application, yoga therapy, and so on. The center was founded as a yoga therapy center primarily because it was Sir and Shri Krishnamacharya's vision that yoga should reach everyone, as many people as possible. And over the years, we have grown. We are reputed as a very well-known yoga
Ji.
therapy
Ji.
center,
Ji.
and we have seen over 100 students over the years. So many years. This is our 50th year, and over time the institute also, from what started as a very very small place, has grown. We have multiple departments. Later the Department of Studies was created to facilitate the training of trainers, and so that happened parallelly. So we have the Kevan Institute of Yoga Studies that runs long-term certificate courses in yoga and yoga therapy. We also offer a number of short-term courses. They used to be in person before COVID. Now we've taken many of those courses online. We've made them hybrid as well. We
Ji.
also have a department of healing chants where we offer a teacher training course and then advanced teacher training, and then one-on-one in both studies, yoga studies on any subject, asana, pranayama, dhyanam, philosophy, any text on yoga. We can offer one-on-one classes. We
Wow.
offer classes that are specifically customized. If there
Wow.
is a request, then we customize classes for the
Wow.
group. Therapy is the main function. We have yoga
Exactly.
studies chanting. We also have an outreach. We have two outreach wings. One is called Mitra, where we work with socially, economically underprivileged differently abled individuals. We also have a corporate and educational institute outreach where we work with students, with office professionals, and so on. We have a research department which is looking at the applied aspects of yoga research.
Wow, that's so good. So how you see the future, Didi, to make a better yoga community? You can understand now. So please suggest you ki what I can we can make amendments, or we can advise, we can suggestion to make a better yoga community, or for the future. How you see the future of yoga? Please tell us.
See, Sangha is very, very important.
Hmm.
That's what my teacher would always say, that it's important to create a good Sangha. There is a Sangha, but then there's also see, I have my reservations about just taking yoga into mainstream academia, because we lose that whole idea of a gurukula, of what it means to develop a relationship with a teacher, to stay with that teacher, to learn over time. That kind of learning can never be replaced. I'm not denying now you have
Nahin.
BSc, MSc programs in yoga. Maybe this is the need of the hour, a professional qualification. It offers employment to many. But I feel that there is a necessity for a personal connection with the teacher of a reputed parampara, that capacity to stay with the teacher. Continuing education is very, very important.
Hmm.
And we learn as we teach, we learn to be good observers of people, and we have to apply what we have learned. And all of this takes time. It's not something that can just be given by reading a book, or clearing a score on a paper. It's also about how yoga is transforming you, and it's only that personal connection with a teacher that can truly offer that transformation. And I until today in K1 we try to facilitate this. We have a system of mentorship where every student who goes through our teacher training is assigned a mentor, so that that personal relationship is built up. And they design the personal practice, monitor the students' growth, they give feedback, evaluate.
Wow.
So where there is that sangha, that relationship of trust that is built between teacher and student, I think that's very important. Sir would always tell us that when we take the first sutra, Atha Yoga Anushasanam of the Yoga Sutra, Atha indicates the readiness, the competency of the teacher. You would say that is the adhikara. The teacher is a competent teacher, has gone through so much learning, has gone through the requirements of being with a Guru Parampara, and is now ready. And so Atha represents that readiness, and the adhikara. Anushasanam represents the student who is committing to a lifelong journey of learning, of transformation. And the point where they meet is yoga, and that space is a sacred space. And that mutual relationship between the teacher and the taught is very, very important. And I think that is what we need to, whatever we do by way of mainstreaming yoga education, I think somewhere the access to traditional institutes, to the acharyas, is very, very important.
Wow, lovely, Didi. So, matlab, blessed to have you all these. So beautiful definitions of Ath Yoga Anushasanam. Literally, thank you so much, Didi. And some more question, Didi. One more question. What do you, matlab, how you can relate, Didi? Because sometimes na yoga is like a physical aspect only, but yoga has, as you say, and as we know, ki yoga has different aspect also. The real authentic aspect is a mental, spiritual aspect. So how we can connect in this real matlab, in this present time? So please guide these say youth, or these guide these time people, ki how yoga is not a physical only, it's like a mental and a spiritual. I think it's like a iceberg only. Physical part is like a iceberg, the tip of iceberg, and the base is like mental, spiritual, and other aspect. So please give us some light on this only.
See, there's no doubt that yoga is a spiritual journey. It's very evident in the way that Patanjali tells us, Chitta vritti nirodha tada drashtuhu swarupe avasthanam. Finally, it's a moksha sadhana. It is a way to realizing the nature of the consciousness, and how that the mind is only an instrument of the consciousness. It's one of the most powerful methods of evaluation of yourself, of understanding your strengths, weaknesses, challenges, opportunities, working with that. So when we say Kriya Yoga, Tapaswadhyaya, Ishvara Pranidhana is the heart of what yoga is. It is a transformative process. In that, it's very evident in the Yoga Sutra that Patanjali himself gives only one sutra to asana. The word asana appears only once.
Mm.
Comes in contact with connection with that is how do we achieve stiratvam and that state of sukham in asana, and what is the outcome, which is dvandva anabhigataha. But that itself is a stepping stone, because in the pursuit of, you see that yoga itself is a holistic
Mm.
process. The whole is dharana, dhyana, samadhi. That is the bulk of the Yoga Sutra, Yoga Shastra. But if one has to bring your mind to a state of concentration, the senses cannot be a distraction. They need to
Mm.
be self-regulated. That is why pratyahara becomes important. Pratyahara is not forcibly shutting your eyes or plugging your ears. It has to happen naturally. There is a withdrawal, but the senses are always being drawn to the objects outside. So the only thing that will help us to bring the sensory involuntary rapid sense activity under control is pranayama. It is only through the
Mm.
breath that you can restrain the involuntary uncontrolled movement of the senses. Now for pranayama, there is a very clear process that is outlined, whether it's the Bhagavad Gita or the other literature. The need for a certain tasmin sati shwasa prashwasa yoho gati vichedaha pranayam. There is a certain eligibility. So you need to have control over the body. The spine has to be erect. You have to be maintaining that the samakaya shiro grivam position, and that pranayama needs to be done for a long time. And so that the body is not a hindrance in the process of pranayama. Asana is suggested. The purpose of asana, stiram and sukham, is to ensure that your body is prepared for pranayama, and that pranayama will facilitate pratyahara, leading the way to dharana, dhyana, samadhi. Now you could say, Shadanga yoga finished. Why do we need yama and niyama? Why has Patanjali put yama first? Because that is the first step. How do you work with yourself? How do you look at dhyanam? How do you evolve to a state where you are burning the seeds of karma unless you bring in a transformation in your relationships? And so, yama as the personal disciplines, how do we deal with the people around us? How do I live my life in such a way that my life is not causing harm to another and I am not
Mm.
negatively influenced by others? Then
Mm.
the onus shifts to niyama, my personal sadhana, because the challenges on the path of yoga sadhana are not ordinary. And see, the problem is, I think we are all taken in by that chamatkara, we call it the glamour of asana. So, oh, I can do that, I can do that. See, I can hold this posture for so long. So, what a perfect Pinchamayurasana, what a perfect Bakasana, what a perfect Shirsasana. All right, well and good. Yes, it shows that you have worked with your body, but that is not the heart of yoga.
Mm.
Part of yoga is transformation. That transformation can happen only when you go through the process, for which shraddha is needed. You need a guru mukha grahanam. It has to be learned from a teacher. There has to be abhyasa, there has to be vairagya. All the ashtanga has to be in place. Otherwise there's no point in calling ourselves practitioners or teachers of yoga, because then you're just practicing posture.
Wow.
And it's okay, it gives you a high. There are competitions, people are trying to achieve Guinness records. But then what? Is that the purpose
Mm.
of yoga? Is a question that I think everyone on the path should ask. And when we don't know, because we can get taken in by, you have yoga quotas now for government jobs. So, but the testing criteria is okay, what posture can you do? Which level YCB have you cleared? Yes, you can do postures very well. Does it
Mm.
qualify you to handle others? Because we are
Mm.
dealing with other people's minds, other people's bodies. That
Exactly.
requires a long term preparation, it requires one's own consistency of practice. So I think
Absolutely.
all of this, that well rounded approach is important, and that is why repeatedly I say go to a teacher who can work with you one on one, who can be the one who's showing you the path, hold your hand, walk you through your challenges. If
Mm.
we don't have that, without that, I don't think one can transform. We call ourselves yogi, yogini, rishi. These are just simply like Mr. Miss Doctor. We have now started calling ourselves Siddha
Mm.
Purusha,
Mm.
yogis. I don't think that is an appropriate. We don't even understand what value the word yogi or yogini carries.
Exactly.
We are not.
Exactly.
We can't just Do we even realize the sadhana that the rishis, the munis, and the yogis of the past did? We cannot compare ourselves. We are not even at the same, we're not even at the base of that ladder. We haven't even
Exactly.
stepped.
Not in a pinch of like this. We have just read the story of Krishnamacharya ji, the struggles there, how he climbed to the Kailash Parvat, Himalaya Parvat, and how you just search about the gurus and the knowledge. Na, so it's like we are like nothing. Matlab, it's like a tip. It's so good, Didi. Wow. It's like कि podcast और चलता रहे, but because of the time limitation, please, how we can conclude this podcast, Didi? Please share some message or some golden words about our yoga teachers or aspiring yoga teachers, yoga lovers.
See, I would say that there's no end to learning. That's the one thing that I would want to tell anyone who is learning anything. There is the Indian knowledge systems, the Bharatiya Jnana Parampara is like a bottomless ocean. There are treasures to be found, but we have very little patience. Even if we study the Yoga Sutra, we are studying only a few sutras. We are not even studying the text. Are we looking at the commentaries? Then on top of that, we say, oh, this is so much Sanskritam. This is frightening. We need to get over that fear. We need to
Mm.
break these barriers. And I think it's very, very important to look at it holistically, try to deepen our learning. There's no end to learning, there's no end to how much we can do when we work in these disciplines. So, this is something we always tell our students when they graduate. That graduation is only step one. It means that now you have some knowledge, some skill, but you have to deepen it, and the learning can never stop. And the more we dig, the more we realize, and we see that that this is a like an Akshaya Patra. There is so
Ah,
much wealth, and we need to be having that interest. That what I find lacking is continuing education. You know, we see, oh, I've reached all this now. I'm so good.
nahi.
That's not,
Ah,
and we can't just graze the surface. Go deep and do it with passion. See the value, see the beauty in the scriptures, see how they connect to our practical life. So there is so much to be done, and a lifetime is not enough.
exactly, exactly. Wow, that's so good. Thank you so much, Didi. I am also requesting our viewers, is there any questions about KYM, about yoga philosophical? And Didi will surely help you. You can put your comments, and I also share the KYM link and their publication link on the descriptions. So thank you
Certainly.
so much, Didi. Feel so blessed to have you.
Most
Thank you, sir.
welcome, Dr. That's a pleasure. My pleasure.
Thank you, Didi. Thank you so much.